Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Cosmic Kev, your host, and we are talking about the week beginning with June 28th to the Friday the 5th. Now, what we got going on here is we're in a waning moon period, so we're coming down from last weekend's full moon. And we've got a moon in Pisces for you Friday viewers. Those of you watching it on Saturday, moon's probably in Aries for the weekend. And you know, when the weather's hot and you get moon in Aries, especially when the moon's squaring the sun, people's emotions and their motivations towards selfishness or feeling the world's an unsafe place and maybe acting out violently or irrationally is sounded. So we have to be chilled out this weekend. We have to think to ourselves, yeah, new things and initiating things are good, but we can't let our passions get the better of us because we might do something really rash. All right, so there really isn't a heck of a lot of interest today other than we do have a Mercury retrograde now. So Mercury went retrograde earlier this week. I believe it was on Wednesday. So we're really not supposed to make any plans or just expect there to be kind of funky delays until the 20th, Saturday the 20th, when Mercury goes direct. And so Mercury will go direct on the 20th of July at 11:22 a.m. Pacific Daylight. So we still have a few more weeks, folks, of this Mercury retrograde business. And I have to admit, this is like a 4-week Mercury retrograde. This is like one of the longest Mercury retrogrades I've ever seen or witnessed. They're usually like 3 weeks, but I don't know. There must be some reason for this, some very important reason. Cancer time, let's talk about it. Okay, so it's about family, and it's about parents. You know, I mean, we live in this world of where we have some pretty powerful money backing up monotheistic faiths. Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Well, let's go back at early Judaism. You know, yeah, we all know about Adonai, and we know about, Abba Father, but there used to be the goddess mother too, Asherah. And really, when we think of the moon, we think of the goddess female energy of God. We think of emotion. We think of imagination. We think of receptivity. The moon symbolizes the goddess energy. It symbolizes grandmothers, older women, crones, mature women, mothers. And the original, one of the words for God in the Hebrew is called Malkeinu, which means the divine parent, which implies both male and female. And so I think people just need to get off of this, patriarchal God only, goddess only, I mean, it's like, please, people, this is all nuts. We need two to tango. We need the divine fertility that comes with water signs like Cancer, and the coming together of the male and female in divine union. So as we come together through our week, may good things happen to you. Thanks for joining me on this week's episode of the Planetary Persuader. All right, so greetings Aries and welcome to your horoscope. So Mars is in Gemini still. Mars is occupying the third house. Actually, Mars, I don't know if Mars likes the third house or the third house likes Mars, but it's an okay, compatible relationship because Mars symbolizes our drive. It symbolizes our male energy, what makes us horny, what makes us get out there and take risk. And in Gemini, which is a sign of curiosity, it's in harmony with that. So people are able to feel a sense of harmony in their curiosity, and so that works, And so in the third house, we see intellectual curiosity, we see communication. You can get a little aggressive in the communication. It's not always that good, But taking short trips is a lot of the third house, and having Mars there, you might have had to make a lot of short trips. Now we've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus, well, not so much Venus, but Sun, Mercury, Jupiter all in the fourth house, which is about memory, and it's about your parents and older relatives and people you live with, your home. Like, part of the deal with the fourth house is what is our comfort zones? You know, the key phrase of Cancer is I feel. And in the fourth house, we find the people that we adopt to make tribe with, that we easily get along with, and it's like, wow, this is a comfortable relationship. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, speaking of comfort, we are now in the sign of Taurus, and so last week we had Venus move into Leo, and so Leo rules the fourth house for Taurus, so that's family, but it's also your home environment, your domestic environment, so you might be doing a lot as a Taurus to clean up your house, make it prettier, more beautiful. Even just watering the garden can do a lot. I mean, I've seen a lot of really crappy looking houses that have really great gardens, and it makes up for everything. The house doesn't look so bad when you have a beautiful garden in front of it. In fact, a really nice house with an ugly garden is worse looking than an ugly house with a nice garden. I'll admit that right there. Maybe that's the Taurus in me coming out. All people, doesn't matter what your sun sign is, we're all every sign of the zodiac, so we can't get all zodiacal centric here. But, you know, for you Taurus people, it's Cancer time. It's a fairly compatible sign with you, and it rules your third house, which is the house of communication. So even though Mercury's retrograde, and it's in the third house, you have very strong communication skills right now. When you're able to explain things to people in very practical, meaningful ways. A lot of times, people complicate things to make them more complicated than they really have to be. All the side stories connected to the main story. Just stick to the main story. Brothers and sisters, especially if they're younger brothers and sisters or friends you knew when you were in high school or college, they're much more likely to contact you during this period. It's a good time for keeping a journal. It's a good time for writing. And it's a good time to express what makes you feel emotionally comfortable. Because in a lot of ways, third house rules how we express ourselves in communication. And Cancer rules what we feel. And I mean, really, when it comes right down to it, communicating about what you feel is a good thing. Okay, so you got Saturn in seventh house. So this is a period where it started almost, 9 months ago or so, close to, where Saturn moved into Scorpio. So for Taurus people, these last 9 months have been sort of like a feeling of make it or break it in relationships. So, things, and right now, Saturn's retrograde, but next week Saturn's going to go direct. Greetings, Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. So, Cancer time symbolizes your second house. Now, second house is all about values. It's about money, it's about the food you eat, it's about the sounds you make with your voice. It's about your throat, it's about your lower jaw. Mercury being retrograde, for most Mercury-ruled signs, Gemini in particular, tends to set things kind of on havoc. What I'm thinking with you is that financially things are not that good right now. They're messed up. Money's locked up because of this Mercury retrograde. It's a second house issue. It's possessions. The other thing is about when we're going through transits in the second house, we sort of want to put on a new face. We want people to think better things of us somehow. And then we're concerned with comforts and expanding our own range of sensuality. I mean, air signs seem to, everybody likes sensuality, but it seems like air signs tend to live in their head a lot more, and so they seem to be able to get away with a little less than the other elements to some extent. To some extent. I'm not saying that they don't have less. A lot of them are real players because they can be so detached. They can pretend to love one person so well while they're loving another person, and it's just, So goes the reputation. Jupiter now, is in your second house too, so it's like you're going to have to spend money to make money. You're going to have to invest a little bit of something in order for you to get the satisfaction for what you need and what you got. And you also need to address health issues that have been nagging at you. This is a time to improve your health, to make things better. You have your own issues around death, birth, sex, other people's property, marriage, etc. A lot of that still incubating within yourself. Well, greetings, Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. And by the way, happy birthday, if you're having a birthday this week. The business side of the organization of the political entity of which I live in, which is United States of America, and it has kind of a business front called just plain old United States, from what I understand. They're celebrating a birthday. And so 1776, July 4th. You do the math. About, I guess that's 239 years or something, 238 years, something like that. Any nation right now that's a cardinal sign, because of Pluto being in Capricorn, Uranus being in Aries, they're getting big hits. There's revolutionary changes going on. China, which is another cardinal sign, it's a Libra, they're going through big hits. China and the United States, two big countries to watch this week. I think things are going to get good for the United States of America, for the people in this country. There's an emotional awakening to spiritual values of a higher value. You may not see it reported on the media, but it is happening. Because we're seeing, and I think Cancer really appreciates this, because I think water signs have a very special affinity for this concept, that the power of love is more important than the love of power. So we've had all these governments have been operating on love of power, and I'm sure including my own. And, from local levels, state, whatever, business, all of them, they all do this. But when we have the power of love as a motivating force, it makes everyone more comfortable. And when people are more comfortable, they actually think better. They do better things. And when people are trying to create good things, it makes the other people next to them want to create good things. I've seen this. I live in a very creative community. It's always easy to find someone to play music with, do an art show with, get involved with in theater. Very easy. Because we appreciate that, And it's also, there's a little bit environmental too. We got a lot of, it's easy living over here. And let me tell you, California in general was easy to live in up to like the 1970s, but I think, since then it's kind of an expensive place. It's pretty difficult in a lot of ways. There's a lot of crime in other areas here. But, rural Northern California, there's still the good life in pockets here and there. So Cancer, my advice to you is celebrate Jupiter's presence in your life. Luckier year than usual for you. That you have intelligence, you have an open heart, you're going to make a little bit of money. You kind of want to spend money on yourself with Venus in your second house. So be careful about, going overboard on luxury items, but know that you're going to do good. You're going to do real good. Well, greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, let's start with the good news. Good news is Venus is in your first house, so it looks good. You look good. It's kind of funny to say this, but I'd say, yeah, Leo, I can see a lot of your friends saying this. Man, you look good when you're in a panic. You look good when things are falling apart, Endings and beginnings. Cancer time for Leo is the ending time. It's the time when you have to harvest all the deeds you've done in the last year. So that's what this month is about. You got Venus in the first house now. So you're pretty relaxed. You're in a pretty good space. You got Jupiter in the 12th house. So actually any good karma you've done this year, you're actually reaping some good karma. Now, the best way to help that good karma is to visit people in rest homes, visit people in prisons, write letters to those who might be incarcerated, just to send them some love and some hope. Because people really need that light in a place of darkness. It really helps them come alive. And, we all have experienced the human condition in one form or another. And the less we judge others and the more we have compassion, the more compassion is expanded to us, even in areas that aren't great. And with that fullness of love in our being, we're able to extend it more to other people. And I know Leo's a sign all about love. So what I'd say is withdraw. Get away from all these people, all these obligations as much as you can. Pay your debts. Hang out in the wilderness. Get out in nature. You know, I really enjoy being in the high mountains. And when it comes to the western states, the western United States of America, the high country in the summer is gorgeous. It's beautiful. The lowlands in the desert can be a little, you know, a little hotter unless you're on the coast, and then it's nice and cool too. But the wilderness areas are of high elevation are exquisite this time of year. And Leo loves grandeur, and I recommend that type of thing. Some place is just grand and beautiful. Well, greetings Virgo, welcome to your horoscope. All right, so this horoscope is, you know, everything about the 11th house of Virgo wanted to know but was afraid to ask. Okay, so, you know, Cancer time rules the 11th house for Virgo, and what I know about the 11th house is it's a house of helpful friends. It was really interesting. I was at a party the other weekend when Moon was in Cancer. And the moon had just gone into Cancer from Gemini. And the day that the moon was in Gemini, it was scorching hot. It was this horrible, it was just like this horrible 112-degree blast that we rarely get up here, but it happened, especially this early in the year. And then the next day was just calm, almost tropical, you know, upper 80s, and with a nice breeze coming out of the south, and it was heavenly compared to what was experienced the day before. And the moon was in Cancer that day that the weather got nicer and the clouds came. So, and then at this party were all these people that had a rising sign of Virgo. So all these people with Virgo risings, that moon was in their 11th house. It was a perfect time for a party. It was a perfect time for us to get to know each other as helpful friends. One thing about Cancer time and Virgo, you bring that service and working together for a common cause. 11th house is about preparing for the future. You know, a lot of us are concerned about future food supplies. Being able to do our own seeds like we did for years as a people. It's important stuff to us. To have one company try to have exclusive rights over everyone's food supply. Are they out of their mind? Do you think we're going to put up with this? Stay tuned where for the 1/3 of non-fluoridated people react. I know, you love it when I laugh. I do too. All right, greetings Libra, welcome to your horoscope. So we say to ourselves, you know, what makes things fair? What makes things truly balanced? Right now we're in Cancer time. Cancer time for you symbolizes the 10th house. It's the career. This is where you have to be responsible. This is where your talents and skills come into play, and this is how other people see you as a contributor. This is where people see you as being able to fit in. So, how do we fit in? Well, you like to fit in by sharing, by putting things in a place of harmony, and by putting things in a place of balance. Cancer time puts you in a place of responsibility. You don't really like being the leader that much, but you sort of do, because you have a lot of ideas how things should be run. And you have a lot of ideas about what brings on social elegance and what brings on a sense of grace. And so you're in this place right now where you're bringing on a sense of grace and a sense of equality in your leadership. United States President Jimmy Carter is a pretty famous Libra. Think of a Libra in a leadership position. You know, he just really came across as someone who never wanted to be the heavy, but rather wanted to do the fair thing and listen to all sides. You know, that's tough. You know, it's really tough to be able to do. Venus is now in your 11th house, so, I mean, you socially, while you're out there, you're going to get a lot of love. You should get a lot of flirts, a lot of winks, a lot of phone numbers, and I'm not saying that anything significant is going to happen, but you might have a little fun. Fun at a party. Well, greetings, Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so this is the last week of Saturn retrograde. Saturn's trining Neptune. And Saturn's loosely trining the Sun in Cancer as well. So there's this grand trine in water, and what I really want to say from this is that this is where we heal our emotions. This is where we go to heal our feminine side. Scorpio, you being a water sign, being fixed water, you kind of hold the bulk of like this energy of water, intuition, imagination, sex, birth, death, all of this, you know. The fears and joys, the highest highs, the lowest lows. Cancer time symbolizes your 9th house. This is where you take a trip on a road you've never been to. It's that back dirt road. It's kind of dangerous and there's no services, but there's beautiful views and, you know, the best bar this side of the Mississippi. You know, so you're going to go there. You know, you're going to check this out for your own enjoyment. You're going to do something different. And I really think that's it. You know, it's like that road less traveled. And it's to take life every day as an opportunity for discovery. You're luckier than usual in this time, Scorpio. And your generosity to others is going to allow you to help others more. And when you act in that way, more blessings get heaped on you. So it's like a game with the higher power. It's like, how loving can you be? If your God is of love, then when you act in that way, so much greater your love will be. And that support will be a motivation to lead you further on your adventure of life. Now there's limits and there's depression when you got Saturn in the 1st house. So Scorpios, especially you October-born Scorpios, it's been kind of a harder road. It's like, well, I'm dealing with serious stuff, you know, death, depression, limits, law, all these kind of things. But we can get past that. We can work with our Saturn energy in a positive way, helping older people, helping poor people, and knowing that right now that the Sun in Cancer and Neptune in Pisces, they support you. So discipline yourself, have a meditation, a good spiritual life, and the magic will happen. Mars and Gemini, you know, there's a lot of intense transformation still in your own life, but that delicious escape is just around the corner. Well, greetings Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So Jupiter is now in Cancer. So you've had Jupiter was in your 7th house for like a year. And so there's been this expansion of relationships with other people, making agreements, learning new things. And for the most part, it's been pretty positive. It's been pretty good. But now there's this time where you have to go through some transformation. You have to work on your spiritual life. You have to work on the magical side of life, the mysteries of life that you don't necessarily understand so easily. It's a very good opportunity to do that. Since you're a fire sign and there's this grand trine in water, all your spiritual and intuitive and imaginative houses, these are also houses where you feel somewhat vulnerable. They're all active. They're all activated. The 12th house, the 4th house, the 8th house. So activating imagination and spiritual mojo, that is what you got to do right now. That's it. The other thing is you got Venus in the 9th house, that this could be a time where you have a long distance lover. Everybody wants that, you know, the long distance lover that you can see every now and then. They never cause you any problems. They never mess up your love situation at home. You know, it's an ideal thing except for the transportation thing, you know. Because, you know, they meet somebody and it's not the right time, you know. So, but yeah, that I think just travel for beauty. You know, like maybe there's a bunch of flower blooms up at this one plateau this time of year, and it's like so nice to go there. That's a lot about Venus hitting your 9th house, and you love to travel anyway. Well, greetings, Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope. So, right now, it's about change and transformation in relationships and in your social life and how you act and how you relate to other people socially. You have older friends that have helped you. And right now, this might be a time when you're embarking on a serious romance. You want everything to go right. You want things to work. You want all the components to be there. Well, the community is supporting you in this. You know, sure, there's things that might upset and aggravate you. Maybe your parents and your family don't approve or whatever. You know, they got to get over it eventually. We all have to get over our weirdness and our attachments. Love is a good thing. People want to love each other. I'm all for it. So Capricorn, I'd say you need some love. More love, the merrier. So you get out there and you love hard and you love good. And you have a really good week. And tell me about it. I want to hear about your success. Greetings, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So, the truth is, your key phrase is I know. Cancer time rules your sixth house. Sixth house is about health issues. It's about the work environment and people you work with. So yeah, there's this really moody person at work that likes to get you in trouble, makes it unpleasant. You wish you weren't there right now. And so it's hard. And right now, though, it's also about manifesting. You need to manifest stuff. You need a better job. You're going to get it. But you also you have to put it. You have to put out there like, hey, this is what I'm willing to do to get to this place. So, better jobs are out there right now, and if you're restless for them, you're going to find it. As far as romance goes, you're actually back in the lover circle again. Venus is in your 7th house, so you look good to others. And you're attracting a lot of energy, especially from females. Usually Venus, you know, even if you're a woman, it'll bring more women friends in your life. So, and it brings an acceptability, this acceptance of love in general, which can also bring men and romantic suitors too. So there's this acceptance, and it makes marriage and things like that good. So, enjoy yourself out there right now and be ready to serve others and help others charitably and take care of your health as we move through the summer period. Well, greetings, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. So, Neptune is a planet of both truth and illusion. One person's truth is another illusion. You know, the New World was an illusion to European and Asian and African settlers until they found it. Then it wasn't an illusion anymore. It was a real place where people went to live and do things. So we need to ask ourselves right now, it's like, what's our illusion and what's our reality?